Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy BTN Live Day.
Oh, it's just
Welcome
the best
back.
day of the week.
Oh, very excited.
Yeah.
I'm Jack, and this is
Ren.
And this here is Robbie from Guide Dogs South Australia. And Robbie's also brought along another special guest who's on the floor right now.
Very special.
I swear we offered a chair to this guest, but they chose the floor.
Yes.
It's Tucker.
Yay!
Hello, Tucker.
Who's just had their first birthday, apparently.
Yeah, just on Wednesday.
Just on Wednesday.
So happy birthday, Tucker.
And as you can see from Tucker's vest, Tucker is a guide dog?
In training, that's right.
Okay. What does that
It
mean
says it on the
exactly?
jacket. Guide dog in training.
Yeah, so he's currently come through our puppy program, and he's waiting for his formal assessment before he begins his formal training.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck, Tucker.
On the road to being a real guide dog.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Robbie, would you mind? I know I very briefly introduced you,
Sure.
but what do you do at Guide Dogs South Australia?
Sure, so I'm one of the trainers at Guide Dogs, so pretty much we oversee these guys when they're 8 weeks old, so they're probably about the size of Tucker's head right now, tiny. And then we look after them with their puppy raising volunteers until they're about 12 months old, before they come in for their assessment and their doggy exams, if you'd like.
So you've basically got the dream job.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
So, was Tucker with a foster family?
Yeah,
almost?
that's right. So he's with a puppy raising volunteer since he was 8 weeks old.
Oh. And then at what age was Tucker? Is Tucker still with
He's
that
still
family?
with that family, yeah. So he'll stay there.
So he's on loan.
pretty much
today.
Yeah, just for today. So we picked him up.
We're lucky.
For his
And-
TV debut.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know we get to see Tucker. Unfortunately, he's in our eye line, but that's all right.
Because the vest is on, we're not actually allowed to pat Tucker.
That's
right.
right.
Now,
So
which is so cruel.
Yeah, it's so hard to look at Tucker and not just.
He's in his working mode at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So
And that's a very important. That's very important, isn't it? It's part of the training.
Yeah. So for these guys, once we put their coat on, they sort of understand that that's time to work and not time for play. Especially the types of dogs that they are. They love to play.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they love their food, as you can.
Yes.
Yes.
Very
See.
food driven.
Yes.
Look, he's looking straight up at you like, "Oh, you gave me
Feed me."
one.
Yeah.
I'll have another."
I can smell that you have more. And you guys would have seen, I guess, the reason why we have Tucker here and Robbie is because we did a story this week on facility dogs, therapy dogs, and you would have met Iris, and basically...
Iris. I don't know.
There we
are.
go. We're back.
Are we back? Look, sorry about that. We had a flat battery. Hopefully we're back on and you can hear us.
Yes.
Maybe
Message us and let us know
Yes,
if
let
you
us
can hear
know.
us. But yes, I don't know whether you would have heard before, but essentially we were talking about, the fact that we did a story this week on Iris, who is a facility dog, and how, Iris actually went to the same school as Tucker, which is pretty cool. But,
oh, really?
Yeah.
So do you know Iris?
Yeah, I've seen Iris. Tucker doesn't know her.
Tucker doesn't. Okay.
No.
But Robbie does.
Yeah.
He does. Oh, there you go.
But
Do you have
yeah.
any fond memories of Iris?
Not really. She's a pretty cool dog, as you would
Yeah.
have seen on the video. I think she's actually watching right now. So
Yes.
hello, Iris,
Hi, Iris.
if you're watching.
Or
I think, Iris might.
we might be able to go to a live stream of Iris watching in a moment. Let's get into some questions.
Sure.
If that's all right with everybody.
There she is.
Oh yes, here she is.
Hello!
Very
Yes,
good.
Iris is watching very, very intently.
Very intensely. Don't drop the eye contact. Oh,
It's a staring
subtle-
contest.
Tucker, who's that on the screen? Nah, there's no food.
No, that's it.
All right, I think you sort of answered this, possibly, but I'll read it out anyway. Oliver from, and you've started including the pronunciation of your school. Ichunga. Ichunga? Is it Chun? I'm still... Ichunga. Thank you so much. I should just go and look it up. Anyway, Oliver asks, what age does the training start for the dogs?
Yeah, so we actually start them right away as soon as we get them off the plane and put them with their volunteer home, we start them at 8 weeks of age. So it starts very basic. You know, they don't even know their names yet. They're not toilet trained, so we start there and build from there, really.
Yeah.
Aw.
Wow.
And Tucker just yawned. It was very adorable. But that's sort of the age, because I, as everyone knows on BTN, I got a dog a year ago. And that's sort of the age you start training dogs anyway. Because it's the best sort of time to get in when they're young and sort of...
Yeah, and get them to
figuring things
see the world. And, you know, obviously being a guide dog, you probably see a little bit more of the world than a pet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, not every pet gets to come into an office like yours. So it's just getting them out there and exposing them to different things.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know if anyone's sending this question, but I've seen a lot of videos of guide dogs sitting through theatre performances. Is that true?
Yeah,
like
so
for that part of their training.
That's right. So we can take them out and about and get them to see whatever. So we have dogs that go to swimming carnivals and, you know, all sorts of things. Earlier today I did a puppy session on public transport. So catching a tram, train, bus, that's all part of the journey.
Do you get to be like, for instance, Beauty and the Beast is on in Adelaide, so you get to be like, oh, we've got to take Tucker to see Beauty and the Beast, and then you just get to watch it.
So yes, sometimes you just get to check with the staff member that's overseeing to say, hey, is it okay if we take him here? More often than not, it's completely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess, like, you know, does Tucker have to learn how to cross the road? Like, are those things that Tucker's taught how to do?
Yeah, so that's something we teach later on in their program. So the first sort of year is just, like what I said, like getting them used to seeing things and making sure that they're just confident in most environments before we start teaching them the specific guide stuff.
On that as well, WAVE students, which I believe might be a classroom, WAVE students from Wirranda Secondary School.
Wirranda. The school from
Iris.
Yeah.
Is it?
Iris. So hello,
so
guys.
Sorry, I should know that.
No, and the biggest thank you for watching, and it was lovely to meet some of you guys.
Tell Iris we said hello. How are support dogs trained?
Yeah, so it depends on the program. So there's a bit of, I guess, variability. You know, a guide dog does a different job to a facility dog and so on. So it's sort of at the discretion of the trainer in terms of what skills they want to teach. It's also, you know, we work with the school, so we would have worked with Wirranda in terms of what do you require the dog and what could the dog help you and your students with. So Iris has, you know, a full bag of tricks that she can...
Which you would have seen.
in the episode earlier this week.
Yeah.
There you go. And we've got another question from Wirranda, but also Ichunga. So Jaden's asked from Ichunga, and then the White Room students from Wirranda wanted to know, what is the most common guide dog breed or support dog?
Sure, yes. That's a common question that we get. So in South Australia, we use Labradors the most, as you can see, like Tucker and like Iris.
Yeah, like Iris.
We mainly use them because they're pretty easy to train and they love their food, which is a big tool in our training piece. We don't use any other breeds here in SA. Some of the other guide dog schools around the world use different breeds. So I know in the UK they use German Shepherds, and in New Zealand they use different oodle
That's so
crosses.
interesting, isn't it? So, yeah, I guess, is it just because labs are very smart dogs?
Yeah, you could say so. And we have our breeding program set up for that. So we can sort of breed for certain traits.
Yeah, which is so good. Actually, you would have learned that in Jack's story earlier this year about dog breeds.
Different dog breeds.
Yes.
I love this question. I'm not sure who it's from. It says just St. Pat's. But they said, do dogs dream? I think they do.
They do,
don't
yeah.
they?
You would sometimes see your dogs dreaming. My pet dogs run in their dream and you know, make noises. So
Wow.
So you've got a pet dog?
I've got 2 pet dogs, yes.
What do they get incredibly jealous from all the smells you come home
Sometimes we bring the guide dogs in training home with us, so they get to meet them too, which I think helps with the jealousy a little bit. So yeah, they're pretty good getting used to the.
And you were able to train yours pretty well then, I imagine.
Yeah, they're pretty well behaved.
Yeah.
There you go. What is the support dog with you's name? Jonah, St. Joseph's. Well, we've answered that 100 times.
Tucker.
Tucker. That's it, yeah.
Where did Tucker's name come from? Who
Yeah, good
decides
question.
that?
So we have different sponsors that actually name our pups
That's
as
cool.
well.
Okay.
And they're always done in alphabetical order. So, for example, Tucker's sibling is Trixie, so they're both T.
Yeah.
And their training group is the T's. So we've got Tucker,
Oh,
Trixie,
that's awesome.
Taurus, Trooper. I think we've got a Taco, Toto, and Tofu. So there's 7
Wow.
T's. So it would
They're
have
good
been,
names. I like these
would have been
names.
similar for
Iris. So she would have been
she
in
would
the
have
I
had-
group.
Yeah, that's right. So
there
we've
you
got them,
go.
and then as soon as we finish the alphabet, we start again. So,
Wow.
so yeah, our next lot, we've just had the A's. 2
Whoa.
A's arrive yesterday. So we're on the hunt for our B's, C's, and D's. So if you want to send some names in,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
take
send
them back
some
to the
names
office.
in. We
Send
can
some
have a
in. So
look.
B's and C's.
B's and C's.
Names
Yeah.
and stuff.
C's.
What about Beyonce?
So generally, we try to avoid human names.
Oh.
Because I always say you've got to picture yourself at a dog park yelling out Beyonce.
I don't think there'd be many
There wouldn't be many
Beyonces in the
Beyonces
park.
competing. And 2 syllables is often easier to train for us.
Okay. BB. BB and
BB.
CC.
Yeah.
They're my... Do you have any you want to suggest before
Oh,
we
I'm
move
gonna have
on?
a think on it. I'd say maybe like, again, Bubba.
Baba. I was
Baba?
thinking like baby.
Yeah.
Baby would be
Baby.
a funny
Bubba.
name.
I don't know.
I'm
Bubba
sure
sounds
we'll get
nice to
some
say.
Baba and baby. Yes,
Bubba.
please send them through because I
Again,
want
both
to know.
synonyms for a child.
Caden has asked from Yuka Future Learning. Hey,
Hello.
Caden. And again, we sort of touched on this
Yeah.
before, but is it okay to pet or interact with a service dog?
Yeah, that's a good question. So as you can see with Tucker, he's got his orange training vest on. So some dogs in training will have an orange vest. Other dogs will have a leather harness and handle on. So when they've got those on, the only person that's meant to interact with the dog is the person that's got their lead. So in this case, that would be me.
Yep.
And then there's other pieces of equipment that the dogs can wear that lets you know that it's okay. So I think Iris, you would have seen, has her
Yeah.
bandana on.
Yes.
And that's key for them to sort of signify that, hey, you can come up and say hello.
Yeah.
But generally, when they're working, we try to keep them focused on the job. A bit like us, we can't concentrate on too many things at once.
Yes.
So,
No.
so it just keeps it nice and consistent
True,
for them.
isn't it?
Yeah. And I guess like Tucker would be does Tucker know, when it's wearing its vest that it's working?
It's work time,
And
yeah.
does it know, is it kind of like, taking your coat off at the end of a day, like, that you can relax now? Is that the same for Tucker?
Similar for Tucker, yeah.
Like
yeah.
when you get
so as
home,
soon
you
as it
chuck your
comes
school
off,
bag
yeah,
off.
and he's like, oh, yeah, cool, we can
Yeah,
relax.
now I can chill.
So if I were to take the lead, would I be able to interact with Tucker?
Technically, yes.
I'm not going to,
Yeah.
but the urge is there.
Thank you guys for sending in so many questions.
There's lots of emojis on one of them.
Yeah,
there are
is.
lots. Someone just has sent in a lot of Felix. Fifi is my nickname from
Hello,
St. Pat's.
Fifi.
Oh, I think you sent in the question about do dogs dream. What else did you say? Can you say on this BTN Live episode that my dog Frida Jude Tricky is the best dog in the world? Well,
Frida Jude
I just
Tricky is
did.
the. Oh, I don't know if I can say this in front of Tucker. Is
Yeah, it's
this
a bit.
We'll block
conflict
his
of
ears.
interest? And with Iris watching too, I don't know if I can say
Yes.
this.
And I'm sure my dog's watching it.
Yeah,
home.
Winnie's
I should
also
say.
turned on BTN Live.
But she also said, I love all you're doing and watch your episodes. I love politics. Do you like... Oh, Tucker's weighing in. And do you like the emojis? And then, just sent in a whole heap of
Yeah, you get to
dog
see what we see.
emojis. You
So
can't
when you
really
send in
see
a
that,
question-
but they're all just images of dogs. So thank you
Look
for that.
behind
We
the
do
curtain.
appreciate the emojis. I haven't seen any names come in yet, though. So please send in your names.
Send in your names.
What about Cartwheel?
Cartwheel. Yeah.
Let's just see. I'm trying to think of names that aren't.
Come here,
human
Cartwheel.
names.
Eh.
Yeah.
Not quite.
I have some jokes for you.
Yes.
If we were up to that from the Laughing Kookaburra.
Sure.
Sorry I missed last week. You did miss last week because usually you do send in your jokes, but we have, what do you call a dog magician?
What do you
What
call
do
a
you
dog
call
magician?
A labracadabrador.
Ah!
That was clever.
Yeah, I like that.
How do dog catchers get paid? Don't look.
Oh, sorry, I didn't actually read
How do
read the
dog
joke.
catchers get
How do they get paid?
I have no clue.
By the pound.
Yeah,
Clever.
by the,
Kind
yes,
of.
these are smart. These
What-
are intelligent jokes, puns.
And I have one more. What kind of dog likes taking a bath every day?
Lab bath door.
No.
That was good try.
Thanks, Robbie.
It's a shampoodle.
Yeah.
Of
Look,
course.
that smart. Well, thank you for that, laughing kookaburra.
Oh, look, here. Do we
Oh,
have...
we've got heaps.
No names yet, though. Can it do tricks?
Yes, Kentucky do tricks.
Kentucky do tricks. That was from Paige from Scarborough.
Hello,
Well, he can't do as
Paige.
many tricks as Iris can, but he's got the basics, so obviously he can sit and down. Today he's already done a couple of walks, though, so he'll be a little
Okay.
bit tired.
Yeah.
It's also a Friday, so he's been working hard all week.
I'm sure you guys
Not
can
bad.
relate to that. It's a Friday, ready
Ooh.
ready for the weekend
Can you
to
sit?
start.
I have a couple of name
Good boy.
suggestions coming through now.
Should we drum roll?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And they're all from Yucca Future Home Learning, so thanks for tuning in. Amara has suggested Cinnabon.
Oh, I love that.
Cinnabon's quite good. Hunter has suggested Cookie.
Oh,
Cookie's good.
great.
Cookie's good.
Food. We like foods.
Charlotte has suggested Caroline or Charlie, but we might not be able to use those because they're human names.
We could probably use a Charlie, I reckon.
You could use a
Charlie.
Charlie, but not a Beyonce.
No.
Wow.
Beyonce.
I guess if you do yell Beyonce in a park, everyone would turn and go, where? Okay.
We got any other?
Oh, Connor from Scarborough wants to know, do you take it on a holiday? So do you take your, I guess...
The guide dogs in training.
Yeah.
Within South Australia, we can. So we have some puppy raising volunteers that might go away to their holiday shacks on the river, or they might want to go camping, and they just let us know so that we know where the dogs are.
Yeah.
And they're more than welcome to take them away. Unfortunately, you can't leave the state just when they're puppies, but when you've got a guide dog, you can. We have dogs that fly and go into state with their
Yeah.
clients too. So
That makes sense because obviously they're living with
Yeah,
a
that's
person.
it.
They're their companion.
They're
their
a mobility
life partner.
aid, yeah, that's right.
Mobility aid.
Eloise from Alfred Deacon, Eloise suggested the names Bonbon,
Oh,
which I quite like.
I like the name, but it kind of gives Baba, but Bonbon.
Bonbon.
It's
Bonbon.
it sounds
Bonbon.
Yeah, Bonbon. I like that.
And Choc.
Chuck.
Chuck's good.
Yeah. Chuck.
Choc. Savannah has said, please pick me. For what?
Being awesome.
Send it a name, Savannah, and we'll pick you. Savannah?
Savannah.
Savannah. Patricia from Scarborough wants to know, is the dog well behaved?
I would say so.
Very,
Yeah,
yes.
it's pretty good.
Do you ever have, because there would be some dogs who maybe just aren't quite,
Don't want
Don't
to
make
be
the
guide
cut.
dogs.
Yeah.
Some dogs don't want to be guide dogs, and in that case, we try see if they're suitable for any other role. So sometimes they might not be a good guide dog, but they might be a good facility dog, like Iris.
like Iris.
Or they might find another career path that they're interested.
yeah.
And that could include even being a pet. So sometimes
Yeah.
if they don't want to work, we'll rehome them as a pet and give them the life that they want. Because some of the labs just want to jump up on the couch and have a snooze all day and
Yeah.
have
well,
that life. So
It's lovely that
I
you
mean,
don't
I
force
wouldn't
them
mind
into
that life.
anything. Yeah.
Just being at
That would be
home,
quite
having a
nice.
I think I
snooze.
would too.
Yeah. But what characteristics do you look for, Like what makes Tucker, I guess, a guide dog in training and what made Iris become a facility
Sure,
dog?
yeah. So we have, so obviously the first sort of point is their confidence, and just making sure that we call it soundness. So it's their sort of emotional state around different sort of things, so that they're comfortable and happy,
Yeah.
whether a loud noise goes off or, say if your fire alarm system went off now,
Yeah.
that the dog would be able to cope through that. Because if they don't, then that's sort of us to have a look at and go, well, they're probably not going to cope with the pressures of working, because it's a
Yeah.
really hard gig.
It is, isn't it?
Being a guide dog, you have to take responsibility for someone's safety,
Yeah.
and a mistake can't really
No,
happen.
you
So you've
can't
got to be
really
pretty
make
good.
mistakes. Yeah. So no pressure.
Yeah, that's it.
No pressure,
No
buddy.
Larry has a question also from Scarborough. You guys are sending in lots of questions.
Hello.
Larry wants to know if Tucker has a favourite toy.
Yes, he does. I haven't brought it with me today. He's got a nice teddy bear from the company Kong. And he
yes.
loves to parade that around the house and around the office. So that is definitely his favourite toy. The only one of the ones that he hasn't ruined. So some of our toys don't last too long, but he's taken care of his teddy.
Yes, but I think for most dogs, toys are made to be ruined.
That's
part of the fun, isn't it?
I think so.
I know my dog loves like toilet rolls or like
Things
paper
that
towel
they can
rolls.
easily rip
and
apart.
just goes to town ripping
Yeah.
it apart. So proud of herself every
To
time.
be honest, I reckon that would be pretty fun as a dog, and especially toilet paper. Like, there's just it's a big old mess. Like, I can imagine being a dog in that.
She's
big
also,
fun.
I've never seen her more proud of herself than when she steals one of my socks.
Yeah.
Like,
How many socks have you lost?
I usually get them back, but
that's
sometimes they're like too far gone that I'm like, this is yours now.
I can't put this on my feet. There's a toe poking out.
There's
or
too
two.
many holes. We have a couple more name suggestions coming through, all from
And
Scarborough.
I might
Oh,
also
yeah.
add in, should Robbie, do you want to maybe keep your favourite one in your brain and then we can announce your favourite one at the end?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so stakes are now
are high.
high.
There you go.
So we're not just, it's not fun and games anymore. This is a real competition. It is also fun.
So Kelly has suggested Coco.
Coco's good.
Coco.
Coco's a
We
good
had a
name.
Coco many years ago, so
Hey.
Maybe it's time for another.
another
Coco
Coco.
2.0. Bob suggests Amigo, which isn't a B or a C name.
You
but
could
it's
suggest
still a good
Bob.
name.
Bob could suggest Bob.
Bob would
try
be a
Bob.
fun
But Amigo
name.
is fun.
Amigo is good. Come here, my little amigo. We have Miss Daly has suggested quite a few. Chili, Bingo, Bluey. I know a famous dog called Bluey, and Bandit. Those are
Whoa, they're great
Bandit's
suggestions.
quite a fun one.
I think all three of those names are on our voting list in the office at the moment.
there
Bit of a
you
Bluey
go.
theme.
Okay.
Oh,
well, Miss
Felix-
Daly has nailed the brief.
Felix has sent in a few as well.
Hello,
Are you the
Felix.
famous Fifi? Is that you, Felix? Felix has suggested Biscuit, Bagel, and Basil. I like Basil. Oh, look, now we've got
You can
doggy
see-
camera. Ah! Who cares about names when we've got that mug?
Oh.
And then also Choc and Chip. Imagine two dogs, Choc and Chip. Chip and Choc Chip.
You know
Chop,
what?
chip,
Sorry,
chip,
we're
chop.
just getting a very good view of
Yeah,
the
you're
behind
getting
the
the behind the
scenes.
scenes.
This is really, you probably have never seen what it actually looks like for us when you're watching BTN Live.
Also, look at our carpet.
Look at that. Yes, I know our carpet. Sorry, I missed
Very
some of the
colourful.
names.
So we had Choc, Chip, and Custard.
Custard.
Custard's-
I guess foods are great options, aren't they? Because
And-
if you can't have a human name, food's
Yeah,
always
food's a good go-to.
food's a good alternative.
And Felix also wants us to say hi to Muffin the cat.
Hello,
Hello,
Muffin the
Muffin.
cat. I love the name Muffin for a cat. Just feels like you want to cuddle.
Oh.
I don't know, Muffin. Feels
Yeah.
cozy.
Uh,
Do you have any more questions for Robbie?
I had a joke, but
Oh, we can
I'll
do
go
a
to the
joke.
questions. Oh, okay, it's coming from Amara, also from Yuka. Can I tell you a dog joke? What's a dog's favorite mode of transport?
A dogmobile.
Good guess.
A box, like a bus, but it's a
No,
box.
it's a wagon.
Oh yeah,
That was good.
that's
was good.
great.
That was clever.
Love the jokes. We should just call this BTN jokes.
Friday
Yeah.
afternoon.
Friday,
jokes.
Yeah.
Friday jokes. All
Friday
right, I
fun.
will find a question. I mean, you've sent in so many questions, but I'll find a very specific
Yes, thank
one.
you. This is almost the most questions we've ever been sent for BTN Live. That might be a bit of hyperbole, but there's so many here, and I'm assuming it's because it's got a dog. We've got a dog
We've
involved.
got a dog. So Elkie
Elkie,
from
I love that
Rendlesham.
name.
I hope that's how you say it.
Elkie.
And this, maybe we've sort of answered this, but can support dogs go on school excursions if that's what your class is doing? So I guess could Iris, I guess, go on a school excursion?
Yeah, so it'd be up to her handler. It depends where they're going.
So
first of all.
Mandy, you would have met Mandy. And Mandy, if you're watching, hello.
Hello, Mandy. So it would be up to sort of Mandy to call wherever their excursion is going to double check that they're happy to sort of have the dog on the trip,
Yeah.
and then they would go from there. So in South Australia, not all of our access rights are a little bit different to the other states. So our puppies in training technically don't have full access rights, whereas in other states they do. But our qualified working dogs, so our guide dogs or facility dogs, they've got their access rights with their handlers. So it's a bit of a grey area, but we're working on it at the moment.
Yeah, I would say just rock up, because who's going to refuse Tucker here? I'd let you in the building. Okay, let's do one more question.
Is this the last one?
Possibly.
Whoa.
And then I'll just see if there's any more names.
Okay, and then we'll announce the winner.
And then we'll announce the winner.
I think it's more. I don't know.
Okay,
how
this
you
is
guys
kind
are.
of
I like
interesting.
it.
Cove from Rendlesham asks,
We
how
love you
much
guys,
do,
Rendlesham.
how much do dogs help the kids, and how much do they cost to train? So is it quite a costly thing to train a guide dog?
Yeah, so I believe the figure that they put to it, that if you were to Google that, the answer you would get is around $50,000
Wow.
to breed, raise, and train a guide dog. I think it can even exceed that depending on the dog and the skills that they do. So that factors in, all their vet care, staffing costs, all that equipment side of things. So yeah, it can be quite pricey. So
I mean, it makes sense because there's a lot involved in getting, a dog, a puppy, to then become a guide dog and
That's right.
actually be able to take people and, people who can't see navigate the world. Like, it's such a big responsibility. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And they do a very important job, so want to make sure they're trained right as well.
that's right.
Okay, I've got Dill from Scarborough has sent in Buddy or Brady.
Oh, Brady?
Brady.
We've had a Buddy. We haven't had a Brady, so that's a good one.
Okay. Also, Charlotte from Yucca sent in Sapphire and Luna. So when you get back to SNL,
Yeah, I'll put them on
SNL?
the board.
pop it on the board. But so I'll just to refresh you, we had Cinnabon, Cookie, Caroline or Charlie, Bonbon and Choc, Coco, Amigo, Chili, Bingo, Bluey, Bandit, Biscuit, Bagel, Basil, Choc,
getting hungry.
Chip, Custard, I know. Buddy, Brady, I think that was all of it. Sapphire and Luna.
There you go.
Got any
Want me to
favourites?
pick one? I think
Yeah,
there's
can we
one
do a
that's
drum
happening.
roll? I don't know. I just like making the
love
stakes
a
really
drum
high
roll.
for things randomly.
Bluey.
Bluey!
There you go.
Ah.
Still Australia's most popular dog.
Yep, well,
Except
dog.
now that Tucker's here.
Well, hey, so who said Bluey?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. It was.
It was a teacher.
Was it Miss Daly?
No. Oh yeah, it was Miss
Miss
Daly.
Daly. Well, congratulations, Miss Daly.
Congratulations.
You win.
Yep.
You've won dog name
The
of the
coveted,
year.
coveted competition of BTN Live.
There is no award or cash prize, just the honour.
The honour,
The
yeah.
honour.
And wow, what an honour it's been to just
Yes.
watch Tucker this whole time.
Yes,
It's
thank you so
nice.
much for coming in, Robbie.
Yeah.
and
My
bringing
pleasure.
Tucker
Thanks for having
along.
us.
It's been an absolute delight. I hope you've enjoyed your time here, Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker's he's ready for a nap.
Yeah, Tucker's
Yeah.
tuckered out.
Yeah.
Yep. But no.
Well, yeah, that's it for BTN Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you
Yeah.
for your questions and also
Awesome
your dog
questions.
names. Oh my gosh, look at Tucker right now. This is too
Oh my
much.
gosh, it's so
I reckon we
cute.
could just leave this on for the rest of the afternoon
Yeah.
and we could all just watch
have
it
a-
until the
a
bell
Tucker
goes.
cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tucker cam.
Tucker Cam.
Uh,
No, but thank you guys so much for watching. And I mean, I think, look, lots of these dogs are, so I don't know, there more dogs like this sort of joining schools? Is this a thing that's happening more and more?
We've got Iris at Wirianda and we've got Apollo at Kidman Park, who I think did
oh
a
yes, I
BTN
know Apollo. I've met
Yeah,
Apollo.
I
a
think
few years ago,
before,
maybe.
yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's definitely a growing space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one
go.
day you might get a dog like Tucker or Iris at your school, potentially. But anyway, yes, I kind of led us on another trail. But hope you have a wonderful Friday, wonderful weekend, and
Yeah.
thank you for watching.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.